I have a very exciting karting race for you today. We're here in a championship round, so there's people watching around the track, and it's multi-class. This is the first round of a multi-class championship in 2023. I'm driving in the Sodi class, which are the karts around us here, and this first race is a random grid, and you can see the faster karts, the two-stroke karts have gone off, and I'm racing in the four-stroke class. You can see that we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I think at the moment, if my maths is correct. And let's see where we can finish here, how many positions we can make up. It is damp out. I wasn't expecting it to be damp, but there was a bit of grease already. A little bit of contact with this guy on the inside. You can see with the camera velcroed to his helmet. So P8, I definitely want to make up some positions quickly. Is a yellow flag here though, and good opportunity to kind of see who's really pushing on the yellows and who's like just really taking it very literally. This guy was taking it very, very, very literally, very safely. Commendable, sir. But in the sort of championship round, you tend to be a little bit more pragmatic, I would say, under the yellow flags. Definitely slow down, but don't give up time to the person ahead of you. Anyway, yellow flag is ended here. I'm going to go up the inside and see if I'm going to have a go. Sort of think about it, and then I don't, which is bad actually. I should have really gone for that. And you can see already starting in P8, and I'm already starting to lose track with the karts ahead. So we need to get past this guy as quickly as possible. Someone got told to calm down there, wasn't me. In the slip now, going down the straight. I am in the heavyweight category, by the way, so even though I'm starting P8 in this class, there's not as many heavyweights as lightweights. So I think pretty much everyone ahead of me is a lightweight. But interestingly, in these cars, even though they're lower powered, the weight difference doesn't seem to make as much. I don't seem to be as negatively affected. Now, I wonder if it's because it was a bit greasy out, and therefore I was getting good traction by being a little bit heavier. Need to think about that. So trying to go up this. It is a yellow flag, and it's a bit of a controversial one. I didn't really see the yellow until late. We went past the signal box, and I was already in the process doing overtake, and the safer thing to do obviously was just continue. It's a little bit of a sketchy one there, but I wasn't trying to be cheeky. That's just kind of how it unfolded, I think. And you can see one of the D-Maxes had spun, the guy in the white helmet. That is a two-stroke kart. So they accelerate quicker. You can think sort of Le Mans or IMSA, they're the prototypes or the hypercars, and we're definitely in GT3 class. So going up the inside here, going to have to go on the wet stuff, which is going to compromise the traction. You can see how much I'm fighting the wheel here, and I think when you get the tyres wet, especially when you're in a kart where the tyres are enclosed, I just feel like it takes a bit longer for the tyres to kind of regain normal grip again. So that's something I had to be quite wary about, especially the right-hander coming up here. So you have a look at this right-hander, going through left and first, but there's lots of water on the right-hander. And you can take a tight line, but you end up going in the water, or you can take a wide line and kind of sweep round. This time I took a drifty line. I was quite conscious. This is why I learn a lot from sim racing. Just conscious that every time I'm sliding, I am losing traction, losing speed. So I need to weigh out whether the compromise is worth it. Is it better taking a shorter route around the corner and losing the traction, or taking a longer route around and having that traction? So you see I'm scanning up, seeing if I was going to get a warning for that overtake. But it looks like all good. Catching up now with this pack ahead. So I think we're now in P6, if I remember correctly. And the guy ahead in the blue suit is definitely a heavyweight. So we're racing someone in our sort of class now. And by the way, this is the first race I'm shooting on the new GoPro. So thank you so much to everyone who subscribed, liked, become a member, donated. This is where it all goes. It goes into the equipment for this channel, and this GoPro is a great example. No more faffing around with the 360. I think the footage is really, really good. It feels a bit more authentic to what I'm actually experiencing at the time, because you can see my head movements, the kind of snap of the head movement. So you see this guy here is kind of on the edge. He's looking over a lot. I tend to not look over my shoulder. I just psychologically, I think for me, it's not the right message I want to send. And you kind of have kart presence as well to feel if someone's going to overtake you. I try and find that. So coming down the straight now in P6, we've got 5th, 4th, 3rd, and I guess 2nd up there. So we could get a really, really good result for the championship here if we can make some headway. And yes, they've been fighting, but we've definitely caught up. So I think our inherent pace is good. This is a layout that I do know quite well. It's probably the layout that I've karted on most in the world. So this is really my home track and my home layout here. So he did a bit of a hand signal, this guy. I'm not sure what he was doing. He might have said yes, go through. I didn't actually notice it at the time. I just only saw it first time now on video. Bit weird. And this guy here, yeah, heavyweight with the helmet. I want to try and get past him, but it's going to be a little bit difficult. And as you said, we think that's P2 at the front of the chain, if I've got my maths correctly. So we're now in the battle for P2. Unless I missed something and this is a battle for the lead. Because I would be surprised if the leader has got that far ahead. So this is either the battle for the lead or it's battle for P2. When you're karting, you don't, oh, look how much people are sliding there. The amazing thing about when you're karting in mixed conditions is that you need to... Every lap is really different. I think the complete opposite is something like Gran Turismo Sport. In Gran Turismo Sport, everything was very static. So alongside here, see the guys jumping, but Mike is right in this corner. I've got the inside, so you can kind of just run a little bit deep if you want to. I actually play it a little bit cool and really do make the corner. But if someone's coming inside there, they can just run a bit deep. He's still there, you can see, but I'm not going to worry too much about it. I think I apologised to him there because I think we'd made a bit of contact actually. But is what it is. And we're now hunting down definitely a P2 at least. But I honestly, I can't see that the leader would have got so far ahead. So maybe someone had to dive into the pits. Maybe my maths was wrong. And maybe this is indeed the battle for the lead. It is possible. So that's the beauty of karting. See the green driver here, the guy in the green helmet trying to go up the inside. That's great news for us because now I have a decision to make. I can try and dive up the inside here. And we're actually going to go for a double overtake. Oh my word. That is a phenomenal overtake. Did we see that? The double overtake to potentially go in the lead. But we are going to get cut back here. But temporarily, I have to say, rate that overtake out of 10 in the comments for me, please. That was a bold overtake. I obviously had the choice. I could just follow the guy on the outside or I could try and cut through. See if we're going to try and keep this now. Oh, I've run a lot of curb. We're going side by side, a little bit of contact. I'm going to slot back in here and try and get a good exit. And this guy ahead is definitely 100% lightweight. So the fact that we are not really getting gapped down the straight, even though we are a heavyweight, is fantastic news for me. It means I can race the lightweights. And I do wonder if I actually had a bit more advantage in corners like this. You can see the traction I get there. And I just wonder if the kart with the outside wheels were digging in a little bit more. It's kind of what it felt like. So we're back in the lead now, I think. Lead or P2. It's quite astonishing. That's a D-Max ahead of us. And yeah, the race pace really good. Here's another driver in the D-Maxes. I think he actually won the championship last season. And potential for me to move up to D-Maxes if I want. I'll be honest, I haven't had the best experiences at this track for the D-Max karts, two-stroke karts. I have found issues with the parity when I've been there, but I'm really enjoying these new Sodi karts they have. Even just the ergonomics seem to suit me a lot better. Often with the two-stroke karts, I find that I can't really turn the wheel because I'm quite tall. The wheel, my arms hit my knees. See people up here on the banking, great view as you see people really try and push the boundaries into turn one. But the ergonomics of this kart just suit me like absolutely down to the ground. So this is great for me. I can see that we'll try and do a full season in the championship. We're really trying to chuck it into that hairpin as well. You can see the tyres have moved off the grass really onto the circuit, and I think that's probably because they don't want people to bring standing water onto the track, which can be quite dangerous, but it does mean that you have to be careful about the exit in that corner. See the D-Max guy there getting quite a nice exit. I was struggling a bit, and we've got on a timer, I think it's a 10-minute race by the way. So 2 minutes to go, and all we've got to do is defend from the surely massive pressure that we have behind. But I'm someone that doesn't like to look. So I don't really know. I had a glance there. Can't remember what I saw. See the D-Maxes are going through. Even in a 10-minute race, they are catching us. So there's some proper multi-class action, which is great. Can we hold on to this? 2-minute timer. The lap time is about... I remember it's about 50 seconds. Maybe it's about 52 or something now in these Sodi karts. It's a bit greasy as well actually. Maybe it'd be a bit slower with the grease. Maybe about 54 seconds. Talking basically a minute a lap. There might be 2 laps left. And we're halfway through the first one. A little bit deep. They're not hitting the curb. You can, by the way, interestingly, use the curbs in the Sodi karts. And I definitely try and do that. In the D-Maxes, you can't use the curbs. They're just a little bit more finely tuned. But this corner here, when I'm really on it, I use all of the curb, as you can see. And also normally clip a little bit on the inside here. And then this corner's really one I want to improve on, get a nice exit. I think I'm visualising it wrong at the moment. So we are on the last lap now. So can we hold on from what would be a P8 to a P1? Probably, I know this feels like quite an understated race, but this would be one of my best ever results in karting, I think. To go from P8 to P1 in a championship race. If we can hang on to it. Just have a look, there probably are people like queuing up behind us. And you now have, because we don't have the 360, I had a very kind of gentle gaze there. I think to check that the D-Maxes are coming. You now have the sort of same perspective as me, which is you can see exactly what I can see and what I can't see. 360 camera is a little bit fantasy. You can see now I'm a little bit more cautious. It's the last lap. Another D-Max coming. I don't want to get taken out. So we're going to take the checkered flag here. And surely we are going to get maximum points for this race. Absolutely fantastic. Make sure to like and subscribe if you like this. Got some more races coming up. And again, thank you so much for the support of the channel. It means I can go karting and buy these cameras and share them all with you. But I really hope you enjoyed it. Great result for us. And I'll see you next time.